Well, the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when. We'll get together then, son. You know we'll have a good time then. Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Ed, and my father was supposed to be here right now. Guess what? He forgot. Even though we talked about this last night at 8 p.m., we talked on the phone about him coming on this stream at 1 o'clock. He was supposed to be here at 12:45. So he's not here. I gave him a call like 7 minutes to showtime, and he said he forgot. So he is running over here right now. Hopefully, if traffic is good, he'll be here in about 20 minutes. Hopefully. He's coming from the other side of town. He's over on the east side of Milwaukee. I'm on the west, so he may be a minute. Yeah, right? Bubble Bat said it right. He really is the old man. He's having a very old man moment today. Come on, Pops. Come on. Yeah. Well, we all know where you rate in the scheme of things. Yeah. Very much so. Let's face it. I'm not exactly high on the priority list. Then again, I have my own memory issues, but I don't think it comes from genetics. I think that just comes from me getting punched in the head too much as a young man. Kyoko says he's got to put that in his cell reminder. I don't know if he actually uses his cell phone for that. He still has like one of the first or second generation iPhones. They literally just sent him a message that says, your phone is about to be cut off because we're moving it all over to 5G. So 3G ain't going to work no more. You better get rid of that. Yeah, he's old. And the funny thing is he works in IT. You think he would be more up on these more, popular technological things, but he's very much just about his little section of the IT world. Doesn't much care for the conveniences of modern stuff. So, hey, who else is here? I see Paul Brian Bell was coming through. He's waiting to drink until when the dead take the stage in Mansfield, Massachusetts. Oh, neat. That's fun. And he has tickets for when they come to SoCal on Halloween. Very cool. Yeah, I'll tell my dad cheers when he gets here. If and when he gets here. At least now I'll be able to give him a grand entrance, be able to introduce him properly instead of him just sitting here. Downer Pass is still drinking coffee. Drinking coffee right now. Can't start day drinking quite yet. Totally understandable. We were going to do this earlier in the afternoon because my dad had plans this evening. My dad was supposed to be going to something in the evening, so that's why we were doing it now. But I guess whatever. All right. Hey, Che Francis, what's going on? What's everyone having a glass tonight? Very good question. It's 7 p.m. here, having a dram of Glencairn 10. And Steve A. Driftless Glen, single barrel cap strength bourbon. Very, very good choice. Awesome. Scott Moody's here. Hey, what's up? Good to see you, Scott. I decided I was originally going to wait for the old man because I have so much stuff that he hasn't drank. And I was going to see what he wanted to check out. However, since he's running late, I decided I'm going to break out something cool and interesting and cool and not share it with him when he gets here because he was late. No, I'll share it with him. Yes. Guy, what's up? Good to see you. The old man is going to be here. I called him just before showtime, and it turns out he completely forgot that he was supposed to be here. So we're working on that. I'm going to have to pause the stream at some point and go retrieve him from downstairs. David Jigwich, what's up, my man? All right, so Compass Box, Magic Cask. That's you don't actually need to see this label. It's not like it's the actual label, but Compass Box Magic Cask, 46% ABV. This I bought off my good friend Eric over at Ray's. So this is kind of fun. They Compass Box, obviously, y'all probably know them. Very famous blenders over there in Scotland. Do a lot of blended malts, occasionally some blended grain whiskey as well. I really do like the Muse. So that's fun. This one is interesting. So it started out with a 1-year-old malt spirit. They re-racked that into an Oloroso sherry butt. Then they combined 8% of that with 92% of, I believe, bourbon barreled Imperial Distillery. Imperial Distillery is a distillery that no longer exists. It has been shut down. It is a ghost distillery. I'm actually not sure when it shut down. I'm pretty sure pretty good amount of time ago. So must be some whiskey that they had sitting around for a minute. Now, what's interesting is that they say they were experimenting with this Oloroso whiskey, aged whiskey, and they were trying to figure out what they wanted to do with it. And they thought that blending it with this high percentage of Imperial Distillery malt made for the best combination. What's interesting is that, like I said, only 8% of this is actually their magic cask, this weird, interesting cask they were playing around with. Most of it is actually the Imperial Distillery, which may seem a bit funny because, right, how much is 8% of the blend really going to have? How much effect is 8% of the blend really going to have? However, depending on the whiskey, that could make a massive difference, especially, Oloroso aged whiskey. So we'll have to see what's going on with this baby. Before I do, though, I should say hi to Jim Morris. What's up, my man? Good to see you, fella. Glad to have you in the chat. 1998. Thank you, Jim. My man, coming through with the knowledge. Thank you. All right. Let's get a little... Okay. Interesting. Right off the bat, I'm thinking like clementines. Clementines and honey. Clementines and honey and just a touch of that bittersweet, kind of bittersweet malt. You don't get a lot of, it's not particularly woody on the nose. Now this is my first, little sniff of this. I haven't tasted anything off this sample yet, so maybe as I get acclimated to it, I'm going to notice more. There is a slight kind of cedary sawdust kind of thing, but really this is much more of that fresh fruit up front. Kind of peachy, a little bit of citrus, kind of a marmalade, a citrus marmalade kind of thing. Preserves, as it were, got that sugar. I will say there is a slight hint of what is that? There's a slight hint of something that with the bittersweet, there's an interesting little is that pecan maybe? Ooh, pecan or pecan. Yeah, okay. It's kind of like a sweet potato pecan pie kind of thing. Okay, yeah. I dig that. I dig that. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like that. I like that. You know who else really loves sweet potato pecan pie? My dad, who's not here. Oh, the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Oh, okay, never mind. We're good. We're good. We're good. Anyway, David, what you drinking? David is drinking Cuddy. I assume that's supposed to be Cuddy Sark Prohibition. Curry Sark, I would actually drink too. I would love to see what Curry Sark is like. Curry Sark actually sounds really interesting. But Cuddy Sark Prohibition, best value whiskey he knows, period, even after a certain someone gave it 91 points. Yeah, Cuddy Sark stays value, man. You can't deny that. You can't deny that. Okay. Okay. That's cool. This is cool. I think Compass Box makes interesting blends, blended malt, in that they generally have a lot of different flavors, but they're generally very subtle. You know, they're usually not ridiculously punch you in the face, rip your head off kind of blends. They're really, experimenting with a lot of cool flavors, and they're making things in a very kind of subtle, interesting, but not excessively dramatic way. And I think this is very much in that same vein. You get this big blast of, like, I was gonna say raspberry, actually. First thing when it hits the tip of your tongue, it's just raspberry. It's cool. It's cool. And then it fades as it goes over your tongue. The raspberry fades, and then you get some of that peach and the clementine and a little bit of that pecan coming back into it. Yeah. And it's still not got, I'm not getting a whole lot of that woodiness or the sawdusty, cedary, any of that stuff. This is just got a little hint of a tangy wood, and then for the most part, it's leaning into some really fresh, bright fruits, a little bit of the preserves, a little bit of maybe a sugary or preserved kind of fruit, but mostly this is a big, fruity, honeyed kind of thing, with just that nuttiness, that sweet potato pecan nuttiness. Emily Chambers, what's up? It's good to see you. And she says to hit that like button if you don't mind. It certainly is appreciated. It certainly helps the channel. Just hit that like button. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. I guess you could if you care to. If you care to. You know what I was thinking, though? You know who would hate this? Erica. Not because it's dilly or excessively sherried, which tend to be those two things that she really despises. I was going to say she would hate this just because this is such a kind of Highlandy flavor profile. She gets so mad at scotches that are not big, peaty, at least some amount of peat or some amount of earthiness. She gets so mad. She thinks they're too close to Irish. She thinks unpeated scotch is pointless. Ooh, actually, now that I'm coming back to the nose though, after having a sip, there is a little bit of kind of a tobacco thing. Just a touch. You know, and you associate tobacco with, you know, older aged whiskeys, certainly ones that have had a lot more interaction with new oak. You know, you get your old bourbons, you get a lot of tobacco in addition to your wood spices. This is not as big on that tobacco, and it doesn't have that old leather, that deep old leather smell. Certainly. But there's a little touch there. Which I have the sheet here. I wonder if they tell us how old that Imperial stuff was. I don't know if it says. Yeah, the first fill Oloroso was only a couple years old because they only had this going since like 2016. No idea how old the Imperial was. Did I just start? No, I started about 17 minutes ago. I hope you can see me, Donner. Hi, Donner. I hope you can see me. If you can't, I guess you'll see this on the replay. You're a beautiful, wonderful person, Donner, and I appreciate you. Appreciate you as a human being. I appreciate you as a YouTube viewer. All that stuff. All the different ways that one can be appreciated. Yeah. That is lovely. And I think this is a great, this Compass box, this is a fantastic like late summer whiskey. It is not excessively, you know, big and heavy. The Oloroso, the nuttiness, the sherryness is not excessive. It's not that big, huge, ridiculous sherry that you might want on a colder night. This is a lighter sherry, a little bit of the nuttiness, but it's not, you know, it's got some spine. It doesn't bend over backwards either. So kind of perfect for this time of year. Little, you know, flavorful, but subtle. Strong, but without any of that really, really heavy hitting, you know, unctuousness or earthiness that, you know, is more of a wintertime drink. Although I tend to drink peated stuff all year round, or heavily sherried stuff, or in some cases, both. Did I tell you how much? Well, did I tell you how great Kilchoman is? Man. Yeah. This PX is, I can't drink too much of this at any one go. I can't do it because it's so goddamn flavorful. It is so goddamn flavorful. The PX Kilchoman. Emily says, so Erica says Scotch is Irish whiskey gone awry. Well, I think she would probably say more like Speyside and most Speyside and most Highland Scotch is just bad Islay. it's Islay, but without the guts, you know, without the stuff. You know, it's Islay, but it's missing what makes it good. She thinks it's too close to Irish whiskey. That's her problem. Which, not to say she doesn't like Irish whiskey. There are some Irish whiskeys she likes, but the standard triple distilled grain and malt or grain and pot still blend is definitely not her thing. And generally Highland whiskeys are far too close to that for her. That's why she likes the Islas and the Islands and the Peaty Boys. The Peaty Boys. Gary White. What is up, Gary White? It is good to see you, my man. It is good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Donner is going to open the Kilhoman PX around Thanksgiving. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. That's going to be an awesome Thanksgiving drinker. That's like the perfect time of year. Perfect holiday, too. I think that really heavy sherry thing is going to go well after Thanksgiving dinner. Definitely. That's one thing that's funny about, because I've been doing those tastings as part of my little side business, Whiskey Experience MKE. A lot of people want whiskey paired with food, which is not always the easiest for me. That's actually something I work a lot with my partner on, honestly. Because for me, whiskey kind of just goes on its own, or it's an after dinner thing, or a before dinner thing, or during church, or at ball games, or, in a bathtub in the middle of the street. But point being, it's usually not something I drink with food as opposed to wine or beer. I usually like to drink it just on its own. But a lot of people want it paired with food, prefer to have it paired with food, which is interesting. I think it's partially because the way we're doing tastings is that it's part of an event. It's part of a service. And so they kind of want to be able to hit everything at once. They want to get the food. They want to get the booze. They want to do it all. So it's been funny. It's been funny to kind of figure that out. And it's something I work with my partner Gwen on a lot, is figuring that sort of thing out. Luckily, some things are easy. Smoky things with barbecue or meats. You can do salty things. Salty things kind of work. Irish goes well with a lot of stuff because it's a nice blank slate. Can go well with, your fruits, your desserts, your, creamy stuff. If you want to do some sort of pie with cream on it, something like that. Yeah. David says, the problem with the idea of Speyside has been hijacked by the likes of Glenlivet and Glenfiddich. Yeah, the smoothness over flavor. And so the world thinks that all Speysiders should be light. And that is true. And that people have been moving away from that. Certainly. No doubt. Balvenie has been doing those peat weeks. People are moving more. Even Glenfiddich did the rum, Fire and Cane. Erica loved the fuck out of Fire and Cane, as all people should. All reasonable people should love Fire and Cane. That's my proclamation. That's my proclamation for this video. Start loving Fire and Cane. So yeah, and I think certainly part of that is that much like the Irish whiskey industry moved towards blends, for a long time people were trying to basically chase vodka or, make a smoother, lighter flavor profile because that seemed to be the way the market was going. And now that everyone's getting into single malts, everyone's playing ketchup and everyone's getting into Isla, so everyone's trying to peat, their stuff. And if you look at especially Lost Distillery Company, who are doing blends based on old school Highland distilleries, most of those have some amount of peat in them because Highland whiskey used to have at least a modicum of peat. So, yeah. Paul Bryan. Should I put his phone number in the chat and ever just start badgering him? I don't think that's a good idea. Emily says, like a good Catholic, drink it during church. Yeah. No, what? Guy, drink your whiskey however you want. Shit, man. And like I'm saying, a lot of people like to drink their whiskey with food or want to drink their whiskey with food. That's just something I've had to adjust to because I certainly treat whiskey more like its own course. That's just how I do it. That's just what I do. Che is saying, another interesting peated Speyside is Old Ballantrae, heavily peated Tummentoll at 50%. I've never had that. Oh, All right, I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I've never even heard of it. That's fantastic. Thank you, Matt. Oh, Emily. Now I will say, okay, that is true. Like, does she? So she don't. She says a fancy restaurant she knows does salted Macallan 12 bread pudding. I will say, I do like whiskey or brandy, more so with dessert, less so with main courses. Again, my preference, not something anyone else has to agree with, but for me, more so with dessert than with main courses. Oh, and of course, well, Steve points out, back long enough ago, the only way to dry malt was with peat. Very good point. Yes, and Jim Morris is pointing out peated tumbling tool. Yeah, I've never had it. Never even heard of it. Scott Moody says, what do I think will be the next trend in spirits? Oh, that's always such a tough one. Before I answer that, let me get another drink. Actually, tell you what, I was going to wait for the old man to do this, but I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait. If he's taking too long, he's missing out. So for the next thing, I'll save some of this for the old man as well. But for the next thing, again, my man Eric over at Ray's, before I left working there, he let me have these two. These are a couple of Bardstown single barrels. These are both 1 year old. So really, really young stuff. And so figure we can break those out. But yeah, okay. Oh, before we can move on, Che is saying he's had the non-age statement. It's brilliant for the money. The shop he works for sells the non-age statement, 10 and the 15, and consider picking up either a bottle of either the non-age or the 15. Okay, cool. Before and after the meal. Yes, as its own course before, during, and after the meal. Good call, man. All right, but yeah. So, Scott, next big thing in spirits. Interesting question. The thing is, people have been saying rum for the longest time. A lot of people in the industry have been saying rum is going to be the next big thing. I could see it. I do certainly think rum is gaining more traction in the market and more attention. I think especially now that people are getting into craft whiskey or stronger flavored whiskeys, craft whiskeys, they're moving into brown spirits more and more. I do certainly think we're going to see aged rum, cognac pickup. And I think actually David is saying that he thinks rum is going to be the next big thing. The only thing with that is that people have been talking about rum being the next big thing for a long time, and it hasn't quite happened yet. I'm not saying that it's not going to, but it's kind of been, people have been talking about it. Now, I think people were talking about rum as the next big thing before whiskey hit, and whiskey got its time in the limelight. So I think people were kind of expecting rum to hit first. I think now that whiskey's kind of paved the way, maybe rum's going to have a better chance. That now that people are getting into brown spirits, more so because of whiskey and bourbon in particular, people are going to be interested in seeing what other kinds of brown spirits are out there, especially if you can put aged in bourbon casks on the label. That's always going to be a big benefit. Well, for a while anyway. For a time, that will be a benefit until people start to kind of wind down on bourbon a little bit. I don't think bourbon's going anywhere, but I think the hype will certainly start to drop off a little bit. And then people will start to look at other spirits in the similar vein. I think, and I've said this before, I certainly think we're already seeing a drop-off in the perspective side of whiskey. We're seeing a drop-off in that, and by perspective, I mean both investment in like craft distilleries, people starting up craft distilleries, and in people buying and selling bottles as an investment. That's not going to go away, but it's certainly going to start to taper off more and more. And a lot of the people who have craft distilleries right now, they're going to sell it to the big boys. That's already happening. Edgerton is picking up stuff. Beam Suntory is picking up stuff. People are buying up craft distilleries. There's going to be less grassroots investment. You're going to see the bigger boys grab the little guys, and you're going to see less of the prospective investing in terms of bottles or in terms of casks on when we're talking about private individual investors. So yeah, I think it's going to take a lot longer for the average consumer to stop being interested in whiskey or stop being interested in bourbon specifically, because I think that has only started to crest. Whereas people like us who are more nerdy about whiskey have been into whiskey for a while. People who are just now realizing how great bourbon is, especially bourbon, but whiskey in general, that's, I think, only just starting to crest. People are going through their initial tater phase, and then they're going to start trying a bunch of other stuff. And for those of us who are more nerdy about spirits, I don't know. I think certainly people are going to stick around with whiskey, but I also think, maybe, and this would be something interesting to see, is Armagnac. We'll see where Armagnac goes. I think people are well aware of cognac and what cognac is like, but Armagnac being a little bit stronger flavored, having less of a, cognac's been a mass market drink for a long time. Armagnac has a lot of untapped potential. Emily James is asking, what about brandy or aquavit? Aquavit, I could see aquavit being a big thing in the cocktail scene. Certainly, definitely, that could be a cocktail kind of spirit. I don't know if it's ever going to quite have the mass market appeal of whiskey or even brandy. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. That's the problem with saying all this stuff, is like I could be completely wrong. And in 2 to 3 years, fucking aquavit is going to be the biggest goddamn thing in spirits. Bubble Bath is saying, oh, I also should say hi to Mr. Mashbill, Mr. Wags. Yeah, he should be here soon. I don't know. He's taking forever. I can do this drive in under 20 minutes. He's taking 30, so whatever. Oh, speak of the devil. Hey, Pop. Oh, okay. Well, everyone on stream says hello. I'm going to come down and grab you. All right. 1 sec. Okay, people. My erstwhile father is finally here. I'm going to go grab him, so I'm going to put the stream on pause for 1 moment. Don't y'all go anywhere.
Oh.
Okay, we're back. Look at this guy who's here now, who's actually here now.
It's true. I'm late. I'm sorry. I apologize. Can we start over? Right from the beginning. That way I can catch up. And
Yeah. Sorry. No, we're into it. We're into it now.
Okay. What are we into, by the way?
Well, I was just actually discussing the future of spirits. What's going to be the next big spirits trend? People are talking, well, actually, and here we go.
Wow, that's a good question.
Oh, good point. David makes a point. 10 years ago, Dalmore was seen as the innovative connoisseur distillery. Yeah. Who knows?
Well, I'm thinking not just whiskeys, but what type of beverage.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because I was saying, is Armagnac going to see a big push? Or brandy in general, but Armagnac in particular? There's a lot of untapped potential there.
I think brandy had its day.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, right now people are into tequilas. They're into gins. I don't know if that's the next big comer, but whiskey's still holding solid, as is beers.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, beer will always be here. Beer's king, I guess.
Beer has lost market share to whiskey and spirits in general, interestingly.
Okay, that's cool.
So it's a weird thing. Oh, yes. So, as punishment for showing up nearly 40 minutes late, also move over a little bit. You're hogging all the camera space. The old man has to take a drink from the infinity bottle O Doom. This includes some of the worst whiskeys we had on the Worst Whiskey Watch.
Yeah. Most of which were sitting in my basement for the last year and a half. Yeah. Now most of that is gone, thank God. I found a way to, dilute it and mask it.
Sure. As you have to, as Erica does constantly around here.
Yeah. So the sorghum whiskey.
Yeah.
That and
Queen Jenny.
Dr. Pepper.
Sorghum whiskey and Dr. Pepper. Okay. Nice. I actually like Queen Jenny.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But yes, the Infinity Bottle of Doom should be getting new editions soon because we will be doing Swilmageddon. How is it? How does that smell? I haven't actually.
Here, smell that.
Oh, David points out Armagnac has such a small legal production area. Very limited ability to take off in the way Cognac has. I didn't even think about that. You have to drink that first. No. You don't get to drink anything else till you finish that. Put that in your mouth.
I can't. There are 3 things I won't put in my mouth. This might be one of them.
Well, here's the question. I haven't actually tried it yet. So you're going to be the first one to tell us. Is this actually worse than the components, or did it kind of average out?
I think it averaged out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me try some.
Yeah, it's not as horrible as I remember it. The old bottle of Doom sucked.
Oh, yeah. This is not as bad as I thought it would be.
Right.
I think part of that is the Trader Joe whiskey that we had in here.
Yeah.
Seems to have really overtaken the Hellboy and the Dickel.
Okay.
The Hellboy cinnamon, I don't taste as much.
Yeah.
And that Dickel pepper, I don't taste as much.
And I don't taste any urine, so that's a good.
Yeah. Well, and Bubble Bath, yes, there's a lot of craft brandy. I wonder though. I mean, if you think about Irish whiskey, I mean, there's only 4 million people in the Republic. What, 1.5, 1.6 in the North?
Yeah.
And it's not a big country.
Right.
But they have a ton of goddamn distilleries.
That's true. They like their whiskey.
Right. Could if the French wanted to, could they conceivably do something on a micro scale with Armagnac that way? But in such a large enough fashion to supply the world?
I don't know.
I mean,
that's possible.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway.
It's kind of fun to see, whiskeys in general. We start with the Irish. We go to the bourbons. We go to Japan. We come back.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a shifting mark.
It is true. Yeah.
What's in and who's new and what's,
That's a good point too. Who's new?
Yeah, because there are always so many new ones.
When
the Texas distilleries came out, and we were all like, this is great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's true. Like who is the newest of the bunch? Who's got the edge in terms of? It's still not good.
No.
That's still not good.
No.
Guy Davis says Dickel will send people out of this life faster than Rona.
Wow.
Damn. That's crazy. All right, so you can stop drinking that. Get rid of that.
Thank you.
I was just about to get into these. So this is kind of fun. We've got two Bardstown bourbon single barrel picks. One of these is, I believe these are both high rye mash bills, right? 72, 18. No, these are different. So this is 72 corn, 18 rye, 5 wheat, 5 barley.
I've got 0 wheat, 10 barley.
Yeah. So very similar, but mine's a 4 grain. This is a 4 grain mash bill. Yours is a 3 grain. And the interesting, this is,
You've already poured.
Please have some.
Thank you.
So interestingly, the way Bardstown Bourbon Company does their single barrel picks is they don't actually sell you a fully aged barrel.
Okay. Why?
Well, what they do is you basically get to taste samples like this that are a year old.
Oh, and then you've got to sit on it for 2 years.
Well, I mean, it's at their location.
I get my money, and you have to sit with it and wait for your money.
Right.
I like this.
Right. So, which is such a weird thing because, I mean, these are picks from Ray's, or these are the picks they didn't choose from Ray's. So we're going to get to see what they didn't like.
Right.
But it's such a funny thing because, and this was something I was talking with my spirits director about, is what if, because barrels can turn. What if, what if, flips over. But what if the barrel in this 2 to 3 years or whatever you're waiting.
Bad.
Yeah.
One of the boards is just, and it
What
finally rots through.
Because what if it's suddenly in the last 6 months, let's say, takes a weird fucked up turn.
Yeah, and it turns into Wyoming whiskey.
Oh, yeah. So, but that's it, right? So I don't know. That's such a funny thing to me. I don't know if there's an insurance policy or what.
How do you hedge your bets?
Yeah,
but that sounds like a scam to me. I like it. I want it.
I will say the cool thing with that is they do have like an app so you can track your particular barrel, its position in the rick house, the temperature, I can't ever remember everything. The temperature, like the pressure, the air pressure and shit. You can track
humidity,
everything, humidity, all that stuff. But it doesn't really stop it from turning if you don't. Yeah. Okay. I don't know about you, but mine certainly does smell young. But yeah, not terrible. Not terrible for a 1-year-old whiskey.
But then again, the taste I just had off of this compared to the bottle of Doom, this is like...
Donner points out that most of the Irish live in Boston and Chicago. They're making the ship over here.
That's probably true.
Yeah. I mean, because there's about 30 million Irish Americans. Not all of them are like full Irish.
Yeah, right.
But there's about 30 million Irish Americans compared to 7 million actual real Irish people.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. This is very caramely. Mine is anyway.
I'm getting corn.
Yeah.
Corn. What's in your teeth?
Corn. This is super caramely for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's very corn. It's a lot of corn, but it's interestingly, it doesn't have that green U funk.
Oh, that's true.
Not
Although
really.
I haven't tasted yours.
Yeah, not here. That's straight.
I assume these are going to be very close.
It'll be interesting to see.
Nose is different.
Yeah, the nose is definitely different.
Wow, this one.
Yours is a lot more brown sugary, I was going to say. A little bit easier. Less of that stink. Oh, you got the better one.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one the afterburn.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I like that. Yeah.
Wags is talking about single malts from America and India. Single malt certainly has had an outsized influence on modern whiskey, no doubt. And I think there are definitely a lot of American single malts I really like. I know you really like McCarthy's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pacific Northwest has done some really good stuff. Except for, what was it, 2019's Garyana? Did I have you try that one?
I have not. No.
Oh, I gave it away already. It's terrible.
Thank you.
Oh, it's awful. I don't know how Westland, who made that, they usually do such good shit.
Yeah. And
that one was just awful. And I gave it to a friend of mine who's kind of a new whiskey drinker. And I was like, hey, this is like $100 bottle. I don't want it, but maybe you'll like it.
Okay, 2019. It's a bad year all around. Green Book wins the
I think there's a direct line between the two.
The whole year, and then we got into 2020 and COVID, and oh my God. Horrible.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Can't win with those two.
Jay Francis is saying he thought I was going to leave at 7. There's 7 Irish people in the whole of Ireland.
Running around doing all the whiskey.
Oh, all the whiskey. They have a truck and they drive from distillery to distillery.
All day, all night.
Oh. And Wags is saying all the distilleries in Ireland and they still put out Pooper 12. That was one man's fault. That was one particular Irishman's fault.
I think we remember bashing that one pretty good when we had it.
That was our very first review.
One of our,
yeah, and we got a lot of hate. And a lot of more threats.
Flaming.
Yeah, more threats than I think I've ever gotten for any other video.
It's true.
Yeah,
and most of them from non-combatants. Sods.
Yeah.
I'll take that one back.
Yeah, that's fair. This one's way better.
Yeah, that one's just eating the lining off my esophagus.
Yeah, because what was the difference? 10? Yeah, I mean, a year in a different. Wait, let's see where the lots are. Can we see how far away these two were? Okay, so yours is 19H27A. Mine's 19H01A. So not too far apart. And well, we don't know that they're necessarily in the same rick house, but one imagines they're probably close.
Same property.
Yeah. But yeah, that makes a huge difference. That 5% malt versus the 5% wheat.
Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy. Yeah, because this one is not terrible for a young whiskey.
No.
But that one's way better.
Way better.
And
they're the same age?
Same age, 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was something my spirits director was talking with me about back when I worked at Ray's, was that the one thing he always tries to do is avoid selecting any barrel that he knows is going to age a little longer. He avoids selecting anything that has a big tannic note.
Yeah. Because it's only going
to get more tannic.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
And when you say spirits director, I think of an Indian shaman.
You mean like someone like guiding spirits to the afterlife kind of thing?
Spirit director, you over there.
Yeah, right. Come on over. There was an anime like that called Shaman King back in the day. That was kind of like that.
Okay.
It was like a little Japanese kid who was possessed by the soul of a samurai, and he had to fight different ghosts and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Don is saying if a company like Glyph is eventually successful, that's a big if. It's a huge if, but yes, if they're eventually successful in creating whiskey that is as good, if not better, than some of the Tater bottles for 25% of the price using science, would you switch? Yes.
Yeah, of course.
100%.
Yeah, if it's good.
100%. Like if people get this ultrasonic aging shit,
I was going to say, what kind of science are we using?
Yeah.
Like Bill Nye the Science Guy type of science. Electricity.
Yeah, right. The Frankenstein, literally Frankensteining whiskey. I should say hi to Don. I don't think he actually popped through until just now. But yeah, no, like I'm not against these kind of.
As long as the product is good.
As the product is good. I just, for the most part, far.
Yeah, we have not found one that, we've not found a substitute.
No.
Not for a really good whiskey.
No. I think Glyph has some pretty glaring issues. I think a lot of the ultrasonic whiskeys, even when ultrasonic, like we've mostly had ultrasonically aged bourbons.
Right.
Even when ultrasonically aged bourbon is drinkable, it doesn't taste like bourbon.
Right. It's missing certain characteristics and notes.
Yeah. Sometimes it's absolutely god awful shit. And sometimes it just doesn't taste like bourbon.
Right. Is that a bad thing?
I mean, not necessarily.
It depends on what you're...
Like if you're an Irish whiskey drinker and you try some of this ultrasonic bourbon and it ends up tasting like Irish whiskey, then you don't give a shit, right?
Yeah.
But if you're a bourbon drinker...
It's highly unlikely that would happen.
No.
An Irish drinker and such an ultrasonic, no.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
I wouldn't think so. But, yeah. Wow, I thought this was okay. Then I drank that, and then now it's rough as fuck.
Yeah, it's just
But that's why they give it another 3 years.
You got to chase that with something.
Yeah. You should try this. This is what I was drinking before you got here.
You couldn't wait for me.
No, I could not because you were 30 minutes late.
I know. I do apologize. Okay, sure. We've had Compass Box before.
Indy asks, who's that young man next to Ed?
Wow. You mean behind me?
A lot of people think we're brothers.
No, it ain't so.
Yeah. Or people have said they think you're my stepdad. Apparently they don't think that we look that much alike. You don't think so? I mean, I got this round Irish face.
And you got the red Irish beard.
Yeah.
So I got the white.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm a little more yellow in skin. You're a little more pink.
Oh, well, I'm very
You're
pinkish.
taller. I'm better looking. No,
yeah. Well, we're not going to argue that one.
All right.
Yeah. So I should find a little something to drink while you work on that. Actually, we have so much stuff for you to try. You can't drink it all right now because you can't get super drunk. But
right.
I have
I got to talk. I got to be able to say.
I have so much to share with you. You haven't been over here in the better part of forever.
It's been a while, kids.
Yeah. Which is
there's something called COVID out there.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't
normally. I'm wearing masks.
Yeah, being careful. But that is part of the reason. That we're moving over to Sundays.
Sunday. Great Lakes Dragway, be there. You'd have to be from Wisconsin to understand that. It's a drag race event.
Not the RuPaul kind. The one with the cars.
Cars.
Not that. Although I have done RuPaul style drag races as well. I have.
Yes, he has. I'll bring the pictures.
What was I trying to remember? What was my drag name? I had a punny drag name.
You know that I should have written down on the back.
Because I did Shania Twain's
Feel Like
a Woman. Yeah. 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 It was something with the name Ed in it though. It was like Miseducation or something, or I don't remember what it was.
Ooh, I like that. MISS.
Yeah, Miseducation. I don't think it was that, but it was something like that. Oh, I wish I could remember.
Okay, this is wonderful.
Right?
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
It's like drinking honey after Ellum.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Hey, Sugar Kitty, what's up? Good to see you. I gotta find a little something to drink. What should I? I'm gonna pull a random sample and see what I get.
Oh wow, he has a box of samples which I have not seen, and I'm like,
yeah, no, you'll have to try a bunch of these.
It's a treasure trove.
I ended up pulling Boss Hog 5. This was a gift from Matt from Whiskey Crusaders, which remind me when we go down to Texas, I still owe him a bottle.
No.
So, yeah.
Is that on this year?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
On October 17th. Yeah, so
we got late in the year.
Yeah. Well, they want to avoid the heat.
Sure.
Yeah,
and that makes sense. Yeah.
And plus, give it a little. I think they were thinking give it a little more time to avoid the COVID, but then Delta happened. So.
Yeah, right. They don't care about that in Texas, so it's on.
Well, no, the nice thing is, and I will say I agree with this, is that they sent out an email, and you have to have been vaccinated or have a test.
Okay.
At least for people like us who are going to be
in close quarters.
In close quarters,
right.
I don't know if they're requiring that for everyone, but since we're going to be inside, at the desk or whatever,
if you have not been inside, you gotta go.
Yeah. So, so they're requiring us to be vaxxed or have a test. So I totally agree with that. And considering that a lot of people there losing their sense of smell or taste would be incredibly detrimental to their work. You really can't and also dying would be bad too. But
it's the smell thing would be horrible for a whiskey drinker.
Right. Oh, for sure.
I woke up this morning and I'm smelling burnt toast, and I'm like, I'm having a stroke. And I realized your mother was burning toast again. Smell is good.
Donner is asking, are we going to do this regular at this time? That's something I'm going to put to you guys, actually. I'm going to do one last Thursday stream this week.
Okay.
Then, and we're going to have a poll asking, would you guys prefer us to do 1 p.m. Central, or we could do, I think, 6 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
Or 5 p.m. Central.
5.
I think it's 5. Whatever time before Bourbon Night goes on, because we're not going up against them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put it to you guys. You guys can decide, are we doing day streams or are we doing night streams, early evening streams? That'll be up to you guys.
Do we keep the old man? Do we dump him? Up to you. Let us know. Yeah. You want to get rid of Eddie in lieu of Erica? Let us know.
I told Erica she does not have to be on any more YouTube content if she doesn't want to be. I was perfectly fine going ahead on my own.
Sure, and you have.
You've done well. So, yeah.
We've watched several dozen. Yeah, you've done excellent work.
It's good to smell rye. God, it's good to smell rye. I haven't drank any rye today, and I was missing it. Sugar Kitty says, yeah, Boss Hog. Totally just a random whatever. $1.99 mini bottle. I know. He was way too generous. Matt was super generous with his whiskey. Cool. Hey! What's up, Mr. Michael Hill? Yes, we are back. It's good to be back.
And front.
Paul Brian Bell is saying we call it Whiskey Church, and we do it during the day. That's actually a clever idea.
Oh, sure.
We'll put it to you guys. We'll let the poll do the talking.
We could start out with a hymn.
Or we could also do pregame his stream at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, there's tons of Packer games on Sunday, so we'd have to figure out.
Right. We'll figure it out.
12 or 3 they start, so we could go 5 o'clock on the 3 o'clocks when they start.
Yeah.
They start at noon.
Well, we want to keep it consistent.
Oh, that's true.
So if I don't mind missing Packer games, I like to watch the Packers, but it's not required.
We're going to keep this consistent. Yeah. There's nothing consistent about this show.
I'm not saying you have to keep it consistent. I'm going to try to keep it consistent.
I get done drinking at the end of the night. I can barely talk. There's no consistency about it. I'm good for the first half hour, and then I dribble off. So you're getting my best stuff right now, even though I was a half hour late.
And I think we are going to go a little bit over today.
Okay.
I was going to do an hour, but at this point, since we missed you for the first half, let's go over.
That's so sweet.
Bit.
You missed me.
Not what I meant.
Oh, okay.
I missed you in that you weren't here. We were missing your presence. I didn't give a shit one way or the other.
Did I bring presents?
No.
Okay.
Jim Boris says the rock cut seemed most appropriate after dark in a locked room by yourself.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And Steve A says, dump Ed, Erica, and you.
Oh, well, that would be an interesting combination.
Yeah, you'd have to talk her into it. She's I think her feelings right now are she is going to drink whiskey in the background, and not be the public face of the review anymore. But
she's saving herself for the movies.
yeah, right. Exactly. I think she is going to come to Texas though.
Oh, cool.
So that should be fun. Yeah, she's actually down there right now. She just hit Garrison Bros.
Oh, okay.
Just the other day because she was down visiting a friend.
Track of her. She's in Chicago one weekend. She's in Texas the next. She's in Boston then.
Yeah. Oh no, she's a globetrotter. She's all over. Oh, thank you, Guy. He says watching this and drinking is much better for his blood pressure than watching the Colts.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. If you're so angry at the Colts that it outweighs the blood pressure increase from the alcohol, then it might actually be healthier. Yeah. Stress is the number one killer in America. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if it's true. Oh, and Wags, turns out Wags is coming back too. So he's coming. Oh my God. Sunday's is going to get busy too.
Wow.
So he's coming on at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Well, that gives us plenty of time to sneak in.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Man, Sundays is going to be busy. Which I'm okay with. Thursdays, we're getting busy too.
Yep.
And we're all going to be stepping on each other's toes, unfortunately. There's a lot of us, you know. But Thursdays, I couldn't do Thursdays anymore. I'm so fucking tired after my job.
He's got like a real job now.
Oh, my God. Merchandising is no joke, you guys.
Yeah.
Merchandising is fucking work.
And you got all stuff hither and yon. You get lost in yon. Can't find your way back to hither. And then your day goes long.
Oh, man. Actually, let me tell you one thing. So there's a certain grocery chain here in Wisconsin.
Okay.
I won't say who for fear of
reprisal,
upsetting my bosses. But they have a ridiculous system where, so they keep the mixers, the non-alcoholic mixers, like your pina colada mix and your margarita, your Bloody Mary, whatever. Yeah. They keep that in the liquor aisle.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yep, I've seen that.
Makes sense. Or actually, it's a liquor section.
Every time I've gone to.
But their liquor backstock, this is a massive grocery store, by the way.
No.
Their liquor backstock is on the eastern side of the building.
Okay.
With where they keep the non-alcoholic mixers on the floor. Except their backstock for the non-alcoholic mixers is a mile away on the west side of the building with the soda.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you have to, when you stock liquor there, you have to pull down all your liquor, and then you have to walk through the crowds of people and past everybody, take all your stuff to the other side of the building and drop it off. Yeah. It's a very silly system.
Sure. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Trying to find stuff in there is like hard.
Yeah. Sugar Katie says Erica makes the best kibitzer. Just drink off stream, occasionally make slight comments and throw stuff at it. That would actually work pretty well. That would be fantastic.
Just a dart in the forehead.
My mom was just telling us about a time someone threw a dart into her arm.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So when she was a kid.
She's had a lot of stuff thrown at her. The dart being one of the worst.
Yeah.
Ice skating accidents, broken arms.
We've had a lot of injuries as a family.
Oh, too many.
Too many.
Yeah.
Remember that time I busted out my 3 front teeth? Or was it just 2?
Yeah,
was it 2 or 3?
I think it was 3.
I took a fucking dive off a wall straight into the concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'll break my fall with my face and see what happens.
Because me and Laura Schrader, who, hi Laura, if you ever watch this, a elementary school friend, were like walking on the wall, and she wanted to go by me, so she was like, jump off. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna jump now. And I didn't jump. I didn't jump. I just dove.
Swan dive. Nice. Yeah, kind of remember that.
Yeah.
Bad teeth for a while.
They were baby teeth.
Yeah, they grew
baby teeth. It was okay.
It was still a mess. Blood everywhere.
Oh yeah, that hurt like a sumbitch, if I remember correctly. Yeah. I think. Well, actually, here's the thing. I feel like it hurt, but it didn't hurt as bad as as I thought it did. I was
Sure.
mostly just freaked out because I was like
I'm
5,
sure. Yeah.
you know.
Teeth are lying there,
I'm
blood
just-
everywhere.
Yeah, screaming and like, oh my god!
And I am thinking that is a perfect time for medicinal whiskey.
You're a kid. Just a little like
Yeah. Everyone should have one in their pockets, you know.
Oh,
You got a boo-boo here.
yeah, right. kills the germs.
Yeah.
You know, kind of calms you
We
down.
would be a happier nation.
Yeah. Indy's asking, what's your favorite bottle, Pop?
Oh, I'm still in the McCarthy's.
McCarthy's.
I'm sold. Yeah, that's just fun.
Yeah.
I put that in the decanter, you know,
the fancy
the
little
cup glass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's a McCarthy's Irish whiskey now too. It's not. I don't think it's associated.
I'll have to try it.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I just think it's the name,
Sure.
but I don't think it's associated with the McCarthy's American at all. But yeah.
And I do like the Teeling single grain,
Mm-hmm.
which is still.
Teeling single grain is one of the best single grains out there, for my opinion.
Yeah.
I know everybody gets.
Oh, there's many opinions.
Yeah, everyone has an opinion, much like everyone has a butthole. But.
Okay.
But yeah, no, and especially for such a young grain whiskey, you know, it's only 5 years old. Yeah, it's very good.
I'll take that from you. Yeah. What have you got for me now?
Speaking of Teeling,
Hey.
why don't you try this, Pop? Teeling Black Pits.
Oh, wow.
This is
Okay.
their peated version. We got this down Chicago when we were down there,
Sweet.
along with a lot of other stuff. I'm gonna do just a Scottish rinse.
Some of it, medicine took care of.
Yeah, right. There's that joke from Emo Phillips where he's like, my mother said that when I was born, they threw away the mold. Some of it grew back.
Yeah, right.
Right. Teeling is really killing these days. Signed, Cat Holio. Thank you, Sugar. Wait, leave the bottle up here. Let people see this bottle because it's a cool bottle.
It's a cool bottle.
It's got the nice tube and everything. Yeah, here, we'll hold it up for a second. Yeah, it's a sick looking bottle. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, tell me what you think of that. I'll find something else to sip on for a minute.
Lightly peated.
Yeah, it's not super peaty.
No, this is going to be a good combination.
And it's named after the part of Dublin where they used to have the malt works. So, yeah.
I like this.
Right? Oh, you know what? I'm going to have a little too. Fuck it. I was trying to think of what else to drink, but...
It's tasty.
Yeah. And if I remember, because this is their, single malt peated. And it's I remember now, because this is a Sauternes cask too. Which some of my favorite whiskeys have been Sauternes casked, peated expressions. Because Kilchoman Sauternes, and then what was another one? Glenglassaugh had the Auchendurum peated, which was a Sauternes finished one. And that one was actually sold by, who was that? Oh, Secret Spirits.
Oh, wow.
Secret Spirits of that one. They ended up in jail because they were selling it illegally. I still have a bottle. I wonder how they're doing. You know, I kind of hope they beat the case.
Get back out.
Oh, man. I don't think it's illegal to possess it. I hope not.
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think it'd be illegal to own it. I think it's just illegal to sell it the way they did.
Right. Much like, rapid fire arms.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It is. The nice thing about this is it's just peaty enough to get past that kind of funky sock point.
Well, it doesn't have the huge head of peat, but when you
No.
taste it, you definitely got that on their tongue. Now it's a subtle yet rich kind of flavor.
Yeah. I will say I think I like the taste more than I like the nose.
Yes. Oh, there's not a whole lot.
Yeah. The taste is earthier, it's smokier, it's
just
charcoaly.
mm-hmm.
The nose is a little light. Yeah. Although I will say the nose has more of a saline seaweed kind of quality, I think.
Kind of the next to the ocean.
Yeah, a little bit. Hey, Cheech, what's up, my man? Good to see you. Well, and if I remember correctly, someone correct me because I don't actually remember, but I'm pretty sure this isn't Irish peat. I'm pretty sure this is Scottish peat because the Irish peat, there's not a lot of it left. They keep using it for electricity and shit.
And heat.
Stop that. Stop that. Go cold and hungry and use your peat for whiskey.
And your water.
Yeah, and the nose has more of a fruity kind of thing. It's sitting behind that peat. The peat on the taste is a little stronger.
Oh, it is very much stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Sugar is saying, nice to see you finally got the black pits. You must have gotten tired of holding those Sharpies under your arms. Yeah, running out of dead dinosaurs. It's true. And wood. There was a big scandal a little while ago in Ireland because there was a lady who lived out in the countryside and she was chopping down trees for...
Nearly everyone lives in the
countryside. Yeah, well, nearly everyone lives in fucking Dublin.
Dublin.
Yeah. But the rest of them live in the countryside. But yeah, there was a lady who was chopping down trees for heat, and you know how few there are no trees in Ireland.
Yeah, so few
because the British stole all of them. And so she got in a lot of trouble. But she was like, "What the fuck else am I supposed to do? I live in the goddamn middle of nowhere."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I could say, you save your feces for a year, dry it out, burn it on. Yeah, no.
Oh, man. Indy's asking, does that mean Irish houses smell like peat? I mean,
yes.
Back in the day.
Oh,
yeah.
The one we stayed in the
sure
cottage.
Yeah, in
wow, that was so peaty.
Where
and you were just like, fire going.
Because where was that? That was on Loch Derg.
Yeah.
Was that in Gary Kennedy?
Yeah, outside of,
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
Yeah, that cottage. Wow, you walked in there, you were like, whiskey.
Yeah. I know, because I remember my room in Ireland was because Isle got the nice the renovation. She got the nice kind of warm area that was wood and shit, and I stayed down
in the bog
in the fucking what was it? It was stone. It was literally like a little oubliette.
It was like the old peat room. Yeah, that was like. Oh, and we had the bucket of peat that we could burn if it got cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break it like hash and stick it in a pipe. Yeah. I'm like, how do you burn this?
Oh man, yeah, good times.
Good peat.
Yeah, no, good Pete. Good Pete. And Sugar Kitty says, and Pete is not exactly a clean guy. Well, and that's the interesting thing, though, is that the Scottish distilleries who use peat really are more or less, they're pretty much peat neutral. They're really not overusing their peat supply. And a lot of them are actually carbon neutral, too, which you think wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, how is that possible?
I guess, they're very careful. I guess they offset it somewhat. They use heat savers so they can use the heat from one mash and from one distillation for the next one.
Sure.
They have ways of doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you wouldn't think that would be possible. Ireland is not so good. Ireland is not so good environmentally. The Scotch distillers seem to be doing a little bit better with that. Yeah. That is one thing I'm interested to see, though. Like, if other kinds of spirits producers were to start using peat, or maybe not peat, but like mesquite or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Mesquite's plentiful down in Texas. We could do that here very easily.
Yeah.
What would you infuse that in?
Brandy, maybe? Like, could you do a mesquite smoked brandy? You wouldn't even, because I mean, obviously, you probably wouldn't want to smoke the grapes, but you could.
You couldn't keep them lit.
But you could maybe do kind of like how.
That'd be kind of cool. You take the, what do you call that? The leftover grape stuff.
The must, or no, not the must. Well, the must is what you have when you do skin on fermentation, but the lees.
Yeah. You take that, you dry it out, you burn it up, you filter it back in.
Well, you can always make pomace brandy, because that's how grappa is made. So maybe you could smoke the pomace and then, because that's all skin.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could, but you can also smoke the distillate itself, kind of like how brimstone does it. I don't know. That would be an interesting experiment, because something sweet like, well, sure, not all brandy is sweet, but some of them are pretty sweet. Yeah. You could smoke it, and you'd get that.
Would that be the next big thing? Smoking all your spirits? I mean, different woods, different tastes.
Yeah. People already do like smoked cocktails. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, mezcal too. I mean, I think peatheads as a whole really like mezcal. So that is something. I mean, that's a different kind of smoking though, because that's actually charring the agave prior to fermentation. That's a little different, but it ends up with a similar effect.
All right.
Can you get high smoking peat?
No.
I mean, I think smoke inhalation would probably just eventually you'd feel different.
Yeah, that's probably true.
If you huffed enough peat smoke.
I really didn't try it more than once or twice.
I don't know. I'm sure I've told you, Pop, but I may not have told the stream. Because I used to be in social work before I was in liquor.
True.
And I used to work at Winnebago.
Yep.
And we had to be careful because we did have a narcotics and alcohol treatment ward. And people would come in and they'd be very hard up for a high.
Oh, sure.
You know.
Mattress ticking, yes.
Yeah. Which, that's not their fault. That's something they're dealing with. No judgment.
Right.
Here.
That's an addiction.
It's an addiction. It's a disease. It's serious. But one of the things that they told us when we first started was you had to be careful, because one of the means people would try to use to get high was to huff their own feces.
Ooh.
Wow. Yeah. And the way they would do it they would find some container or like a Tupperware or something.
Sure, yuck.
Go to the bathroom in it, and then leave it in somewhere, preferably in the sun. So it gets a nice
right in the window, bag of poop.
Get the fumes going.
Yeah.
And the whatever comes off of poop when you heat it like that.
It's like methane.
I guess. Yeah, methane or something. If you stick your head in there and you.
What if you inhale too hard?
Oh, yeah. No, that's terrible. But it will get you. Wow. It will get you going. Oh. It'll get you where you want to be.
That's like drinking aftershave.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
Well, that's another one. That's another one though, was hand sanitizer. The one kind with alcohol in it. If you put salt in it, it'll remove the gel and you'll be left with pretty much pure denatured alcohol. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And this is why I come over here. The things I learned. Yeah. I gotta go try some of this.
Donner Pass says this sounds like a South Park episode. It does sound like a South Park episode.
It's
This sounds like
getting there,
totally
yes.
something they would do. Jeez, it's an awkward.
We kind of got off the rails, went down the chasm, into the river,
Oh, man.
and now we're trying to bring the train back up.
Mm.
Not working.
Mm-mm. But good to see you, Jason. Thank you for stopping by, my man.
Wow, what a beard. I like that.
I know, isn't that fantastic?
You know, tip his head over, and then he's got he'd have real hair.
Oh, man. Should we have one more pop and then call it a night?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Something other than this, then?
Something other than that? What would you like?
I'd like the random pick from the box, please.
A random pick from the box. Let's do it. All right, I'm gonna go with this one. This is you chose a good one. I believe this one came to me from my man. I think this was Ben Eves. I'm pretty sure this is his handwriting. So
Okay.
yeah, this is Broken Barrel Mizunara finish. So yeah, we got a lucky pick here. All right, get a clean glass. I think that one's clean.
I'm all over that.
Pour yourself some. So this is, I believe this is the Broken Barrel Bourbon finished in Mizunara casks.
Can't beat that with a big wet stick. Well, you could.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Mizunara is a Japanese type of oak. It is
the Wonderwood.
Quercus mongolica is its scientific name, I believe. The weird thing about it is that it grows very strangely. It kind of warps and is Woo! And so it's hard to make barrels out of. It tends to leak, but it can contribute some really cool flavors.
Great flavorings,
Yeah. And actually, I think after McCarthy's, would you say Glendalough Mizunara
is a great one? Yeah.
Maybe one of the top.
And I like the Texas one of the Texas oak barrels because they just saturate with the heat.
Oh, that's true
up
too.
All that oak flavor.
But
so anything woody,
yeah.
having worked in a wood shop for a long time, I like wood.
Yeah.
Not that way. God,
don't say that in front of your son.
I know. Pick your.
I try to. I am not I don't have a problem with innuendo. I try not to say any when I'm around you. It's awkward.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean it that way.
Is that Ben the hockey player? I don't know. Does Ben Eves play hockey? I don't know. Maybe. Perhaps. I don't know. Yeah.
A lot of people do a lot of strange stuff.
I was way into hockey for a minute, but mostly just for the fights. That was when I was boxing. So I was like, yeah, this is cool.
Wow. That tastes chocolate.
Yeah.
I like that.
Is that what kind of chocolate would you say? Because I was going to say, like, on the taste, it's kind of milk chocolatey. But
yeah. It's got some darker.
Yeah, no,
darker
there's
notes.
a bitter note there, too. But I was going to say
yeah.
it's mostly milk chocolate, but maybe.
It's got a lot going. That's cool. I like that.
Sugar Kitty says Quercus crispula. Is that what Mizunara is? I thought it was Mongolica, but maybe I'm crazy. Sugar Kitty would know. Sugar Kitty is
the authority.
Well, Sugar Kitty is a chemist by trade.
Oh,
or has something to do with chemistry.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah,
that is a good thing to have.
I gotta say though, I'm not a big fan of this nose.
No, I'm not getting a whole lot off that.
I mostly just get a very young green note. I see you sticking your whole schnoz in there trying to find something.
Yeah, I've only got the one working nostril today. Yeah.
Like, I get a dark chocolate note, but it's kind of overwhelmed by that green Yui note.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not digging the nose. It's not for me. It's not for me.
Either way, I think this is a good finisher.
Now I don't know. I just can't get that green Yui note out of my system, man. I'm getting it on the taste too. Are you enjoying this?
No, I see what you're saying. It's coming front. The more I'm drinking, the more it's sitting on my tongue.
I don't know.
It's not dissipating. It's like,
yeah, like
the original taste was chocolate.
Yeah.
Now I've got this paste stuck on there that's not chocolate.
Well, that could just be. I could just be putting something in your head, though.
No, I don't think so. So I'm having a hard time getting back to this.
Oh, right. Sugar Kitty is not a chemist herself or themself. I don't know. I can't tell the gender of cats. But sell software to flavor and fragrance chemists.
Ooh.
Yeah.
IT type.
So where the hell did I get Quercus mongolica? I'm going to look that up.
A software salesperson.
Yeah, kind of like you.
Well, not quite, but yeah. Another tech weenie.
Yeah. Quercus mongolica is Mongolian oak, but let's see here. Yeah, it is Quercus mongolica. Wait, let's look up Mizunara. Because now I'm curious. Species. Mizunara species. Oh, it is Crispula.
There you go.
Huh. I have been... Oh, it's a broadleaf tree of the genus Quercus as Quercus mongolica variant. Huh. Okay, so scientifically it is Quercus mongolica, but it sounds like that may be a variant of Quercus crispula, or Quercus crispula is a variant of Quercus mongolica.
Have you said anything English in the last half minute?
No, apparently not. Oh, okay. Here we go. So Quercus mongolica is the broader species, and crispula is a variant of that oak. There we go. Okay.
Okay, so we start with oak. We narrow it down.
Oh,
either way, it's
the cat is female. The human is male. Well, Sugar doesn't necessarily mean female. Like Sugar Rashad Evans or Sugar Ray
Leonard,
Sugar Ray Robinson. Yeah, there's been a lot of
Sugar Rays.
Sugar Rays. Yeah,
there's a song Sugar Ray.
There's a band Sugar Ray.
That's right.
I think they named themselves after the boxer. Yeah. Paul Bryan is in software sales for aviation industry.
Oh.
Endangered Species Island.
I'm going to tap him for a loan.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Another nerd. Yeah, check the.
Yeah, I don't hate this, but I'm just not getting a lot of Mizunara. I'm mostly just getting that really Yui.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, then it's the more you drink it, the more you pick that up. Like I say, it just kind of sits on your tongue.
Yeah.
And just grows.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I'm not.
Like a white coating.
I'm not the biggest fan of it, though. Yeah. That's too bad. I was kind of hoping this one would be really kick-ass.
First taste was great, and then you put it aside.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a sip of this. Take one sip off the top of the bottle, and then just get rid of it. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, the first sip is just kind of a little overwhelming. There's a lot going on. And then after that, something just kind of keeps hitting you in the same taste buds and numbing you out.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm like, I feel like I got fur on my tongue.
Yeah. I'm not, yeah. Oh, well, too bad. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's certainly not the worst. I mean, and good on them for trying something different.
Sure.
So, Donner Pass is saying, didn't they start using it because they couldn't get oak imported because of trade cutoffs before and during World War II? That could be very true. I don't actually know.
No?
Yeah.
We'll take that as a truth until we can prove different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because they did. I mean, Japanese whiskey has been through quite the ride, hasn't it? I mean, because it started off, they were basically making kind of like
crap.
Well, yeah. Like after Japan opened up, they kind of just made like home distilled whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Until
once your island's just been bombed to smithereens, there's nothing to drink. And
well, I mean, when Commodore Perry showed up.
Oh,
when Commodore Perry showed up and basically blasted his way into Japan and they started drinking whiskey, they started just making like homegrown whiskey, which is whatever they could make.
Sure.
And then that was when how do you say it? It's Masataka Taketsuru went to Scotland, and he was the one who kind of brought back Scottish style whiskey.
Sure.
So he kind of started making real whiskey. But then, of course, fast forward 40 years after the war, and they kind of just started making crap again. I mean, some of them were making really good shit that everyone loved, and some of them were just making shit to kind of
get through the night. Exactly. We've just been bombed.
But anyway, this has been the Rock Gut Review.
Is that what this has been?
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Lucky you.
This has been Day Drinking with Double D and Cheeto.
I like it.
Yeah, this was fun. I know last week I didn't put up any videos. That was bad. And I'm sorry for that.
I missed that one too.
This week should be different.
Okay.
Especially because after we go off of the air, the old man is going to help me shoot a video about this. Charles Woodson of the Green Bay Packers put out a bourbon. We're going to see what the fuck that's all about. Be excited, because that's coming on Wednesday. You should probably know what my opinion of it, because it's coming out on Wednesday.
This is exciting. Charles Woodson, yeah.
So we're going to check that out.
Great.
Yeah. And until next time, thank you for coming by. I think Whiskey Jason's on right now. Go watch him if he's in English. I don't actually know. He might be in German today.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah. But either way, until next time, we're going to sign off. Thank you for coming by. Stay safe. Stay healthy. We love you all. Oh, and I will be doing more of the Rock Gut shots. I promise. I know more celebrity bourbon. I know. But that's what this show is. That's what this show is about, man.
We're pandering to the big heads.
We know what we're doing. All right.
Really?
Until next time.
Winging it.
Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy,
and
stay rotten.